And I hate the kind of person that she's turned into, this like very reactive, overreactive person,
Mhm.
this like immediately switching to like a panic attack when she's
Yeah.
called out on things or things are brought into question. Just like, simple questions with simple answers, you know?
So excited to have you here. Mia, excited to have you on the show, not on a phone. What was it like coming into the group in Vegas? I mean, Molly, you've been witnessing the dumpster fire kind of up close all season, but
Yeah.
there's a lot going on to jump in Vegas.
I know, but and the thing is, like Charleston is so small. I've been hearing all the stuff that's been happening through like other people as well when it's been happening. So I've been completely caught up, completely filled in, thanks to TJ and Brad.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to be back with my people, you know, and
Yes,
able to drink
I'm
the tap water again. So
Yeah.
able to drink the tap water, able to drink a burger. Just tell me a little bit about what your pageant experience was, because it sounds like it was kind of like a crazy time.
it was insane. It was definitely one of my most impulsive ideas that I had because I've never done a pageant before. I've never done anything like beauty queen related. And I don't have any like trauma. And so I think it was time for me to put some on to me. And it was very humbling and would never do it again and will not recommend. But I persevered and I'm stronger for it.
What was like the most challenging part of that? The part that makes you say never again?
I think I think I'm a pretty fabulous person and I pride myself on that. And it's the fact that people that are less fabulous than me are telling me that I'm not fabulous. I'm
Yes.
like, they're like, "Oh, your hair is ugly and you're fat and you're that." And I'm like, "Have you seen yourself lately?"
Yeah.
I'm
We
like,
can't
"Let's just be
allow.
I'm like, let's just be serious for a second." So yeah, would never do it again. Do not recommend unless you want tears.
Well, I am so excited to have you back.
Thank you.
Immediately, you get into it a little bit with Austin. Can you break down that situation a little bit? Because his reaction seemed a little oversized to like the story that we heard.
I don't know if anybody else notices, but like anybody that comes for me, specifically men, like i.e. Oshin last season, they just don't do well after like they just don't. It is not a good look. I don't know, like trigger something in men sometimes that is like very they get very passionate about it and overtly passionate, and it just comes across like kind of manic and weird. Um, I don't know why he was so upset that I said he was handsome, which I take back fully now.
Revoked, revoked.
Yeah,
Okay.
that you Mia calling you handsome is now revoked. You cannot put that on your resume anymore.
Okay. So there's nothing more to it. It's just
I
kind
mean,
of like a
I
bizarre
think,
reaction.
well, to be honest, I think he got a rumor mixed up with another one of us, um, which was squashed. He ended up apologizing to me separately after the dinner table because he like called the person it was about and they were like, no, that's not about Mia. Like, why would you say that? And then he apologized to me off camera and was like, hey, I'm really sorry I said that. I didn't know that I got my information mixed up. And I was like, this seems to be a reoccurring theme with your information. I was like,
Mm,
let's just make sure that you have all of the notes before you come and attack people.
we got to
I
check our
also think that he
sources.
wasn't expecting me to come back. That's why he felt so comfortably talking about me at the table, at the lake.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense because I was like, gross. Why are we throwing out the word gross? That's
I was
wild.
like, first of all, Mia, the
No.
most beautiful person I think I've ever seen in my life, is not gross.
I was like, the man that wears aluminum for deodorant, I calling me gross is absolutely wild.
Period. We'll leave it there because there is a lot of drama that happened in last night's episode.
Mhm.
We pick up with Grace rolling up like an hour late to Maddie's set. I would love to hear where both of you fall on that now that you've had a little bit of space to like process and digest.
I mean, I think it was just incredibly disrespectful. And we were all there in the moment and we saw how much it really hurt Maddie. I think in general, just her being late to something, claiming she doesn't know what time it was, yet the time was on the side of the building we were sleeping in. Like, it wasn't it. And it was actually really heartbreaking to see how upset it made Maddie. And then her reaction after the fact and not owning it. It wasn't a, if you did it or not, you did it. You missed the performance almost fully. And I think like just the way she handled it was heartbreaking, and seeing how much it hurt, Maddie and Joe by proxy. I think it was just an incredibly horrible. It was horrible. Like it was not a friendly thing to do.
Yeah, Mia, what do you think?
I think, and this can sound like a dig, and I don't think it's a dig.
Mm.
I think Maddie featuring Grace on her song, she's like helping Grace. Do you know what I mean? She did her a favor.
I want to follow that up, like right after you say, like Maddie is time and time again providing her the rope to climb, and she's hanging herself instead
Yeah.
of climbing it.
Hmm.
And there's a time when Maddie's gonna run out of rope, and there's a time when you can only hang yourself so many times before you're done. So I think just time and time again, she's providing her opportunities, and she's doing it because she feels bad for Grace because she has nothing else going for her, but she's also not grabbing onto the rope. Like she's not helping herself, and it's sad. It's sad to see.
Mm.
Yeah, it was really heartbreaking. And then watching Grace say something to Maddie about it, or Maddie saying something to Grace about it and saying, like, hey, that wasn't cool. Like, that was really disrespectful and weird. And everybody else was on time. And the only person that it mattered to be there wasn't, which was Grace, right? And Grace just started attacking her and calling her horrendous names that, like, I would never even think about calling my friends. I don't know. It was just very weird.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like overt emotion going on that people just kind of throw around these horrible words and not think about the consequences that these words mean, right? And to watch Maddie be tore up about it is heartbreaking for me because I knew she put a lot of time and a lot of effort into her set and a lot of time and a lot of effort into that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like there's something kind of that's layered underneath this all, Molly. You bring it up at dinner. It's the Oisin, Eva, Grace kind of like hookup love triangle thing that's going on there. Now, that's new information for us, people who are watching the show. But I'm kind of curious, do either of you think that that has been fueling some frictions underneath things this season? Okay,
Oh,
Mia, you're nodding. Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, from the start of the season, it wasn't aired, but me and Grace got into it at Michael's birthday party, and I just was trying to explain. Eva was there, as well as Grace, and we had initiated a conversation, and she just didn't intend to continue with said initiation, and like I kind of lost it. Like when you hurt my friends, you hurt me. That's the kind of person I am. And Eva has kind of a quieter voice, and I have a loud one. So I just took it upon myself, not even then, but also in Vegas, to just cut the bullshit, like cut it out, own up to it. You did something pretty bad. But it also, again, has fueled the tensions. Maddie can't have Grace over, and that's her quote unquote best friend. Grace can't come over to her house anymore. Maddie has to lie when she's hanging out with Grace. Like, it has put a lot of tension on Maddie's home life. Like, she wants nothing more than to have the friend group of her girlfriends all hang out again. And Grace says it's not clicking, that like she's the root cause of that, and she's hurting a lot of people in the process. And she's playing this dumb like la la la, this la 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 role, and using that as an excuse, and I see through it. So
Yeah, you called it
I call it,
malicious, I think. That was straight up malicious. Yeah. You
yeah,
think it's more than just
She
kind of
had
like
bad
an
intent. I
accident.
mean, we
yeah,
give like I don't not we because I don't, but I don't know what's up with like a lot of people giving Grace like
Grace.
I mean Grace, yeah, and saying like, oh, she doesn't know, like she's just like it's just Grace. I'm like, what are
She
we
knows
talking
exactly what
about
she's
here?
doing.
I'm like, what are we
Mhm.
talking about here? Like she's like a grown woman. I mean, what are you talking about that she wants to sleep with O'Sheen after her friend is like in a weird little situationship with him? I'm like, there are a billion people on the in the planet. Why does it have to be him? Plus,
Yeah.
We're
how are we
choosing a
hanging out for
guy.
like we've been hanging out
Yeah,
like 2 seasons? You know what I mean? Like what? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It is malicious. It's weird. It's like she wants to be in Eva. I don't know what it is, but it's just very
it's the whole
gross to
theme
me.
of accountability. It's an issue that could have been extinguished immediately with taking accountability and apologizing for. I think a theme this season, especially in Vegas, is you don't get to decide how your actions make someone feel. Like you don't get
Exactly.
to decide that. So whatever you think you did, you might not have thought you did something wrong, but if you are seeing the emotion that it's causing someone, you need to acknowledge that and you need to apologize. And if you don't have the emotional maturity to do that, or you're doing it on purpose, then you're someone that I would never want to be around. And in this case, that was Grace.
Yeah. Well, and Mia, you've got your own like unpleasant history with O'Sheen too. Does that play into a little bit about how you read the situation?
No, not at all.
Hmm.
I don't blame Machine for trying to stick his dick in as many people as he can. I mean, he's a dude. But the thing is
Hmm.
that there is a very, very long history between Eva and Grace. I mean,
Hmm.
you can see they've known each other since what, middle school, Molly, or
Hmm.
Yeah,
something?
yeah, yeah.
Like that's
Mm.
really messed up. That's really
Yeah.
messed up. And there are a ton of people in Charleston. Why does it have to be O'Sheen? And we already know his history, so it's just gross that she even wants to go for that in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, there is plenty of drama there. I'm sure that's going to continue on this season. We've
Mhm.
also got all of the Will and the Emmy of it all. I mean, Mia, you have dealt with these rumors in past seasons, and they just keep getting crazier and crazier this
Yeah.
season. I'm kind of curious where both of you stand with those rumors now.
I think if you're asking me if I think it happened, no, I don't believe he cheated on her.
Okay.
I know him very well. I know her pretty well, and I don't think he cheated. What I do
Okay.
think happened is that he puts her in really horrendous situations. He continuously puts the relationship in weird territories where, like, he doesn't need, you don't need, if you're doing long distance with somebody, you don't need to be late night studying in the library with a girl until all hours in the morning and then walking her somewhere. Like, that doesn't need to be happening. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
There are boundaries within a relationship, and I don't think Emmy has put any boundaries up that would, like, normally kind of rattle a relationship. So when other people see him crossing these boundaries, they're like, Emmy, what the fuck's going on? Like, say something to him. Like, this isn't okay or this isn't cool. He doesn't be out, you know, in a bathroom with a girl. He doesn't need to be, like so many things that raise questions. He doesn't seem to care. But then he
Mhm.
gets upset when people like question his intentions in the relationship, right?
Mhm.
It's a very weird dynamic, and I know Will for a very, very long time, almost a decade now, and he's smarter than this. So
Mhm.
as a friend, I'm like, what the f- is going on? You know? I'm like, you need to
Yeah.
lock in. You really lock in and like hunker down and think about like what is this going to mean for my relationship?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And Molly,
he's in the spotlight. He's on a reality TV show. Like it makes things worse. You don't need to be going to lunch with some girl and then going out to a party with her late night and the thing. It spurs rumors, and he's like, "Why is the rumor spreading? Come on, like be so for real."
right, right. And Molly, what do you think? Do you believe the rumors or are you also team not?
I think I lean towards not. I don't see a lot of facts. I don't think Austin, again, it was shown in Vegas that he really, like I don't, I don't believe that people can change like that. I don't
Mm,
like, he has a proven history of being shady and snaky. And I don't want to use that as proof to say, like, oh, well, then he has to have done it this time.
right.
I don't think there's enough information on my end, but I do agree with Mia. I think he is a creature of habit, and I think those habits revolve around being disrespectful.
Hmm.
And I think in general, he disrespects women. And unfortunately, he is dating a woman, so that stays in the relationship as well.
Right, right. Well, I'm kind of curious to see how this happens going forward. We know that Will and Emmy are still together, but it
Mhm.
seems like it's really wearing on her. Mia, especially you guys are really close. How has that been for you to watch your friend go through a tough time like this?
I've known Emmy for a while, and I can say this wholeheartedly that our relationship has faltered. It
Mhm.
has definitely been tested, and a lot of the things that she lets slide, or not even slide, but just like you know, question your boyfriend. Like we want to see, put him to the fire a little bit, and it's hard to be friends with women like that. And I think
Mhm.
all women can kind of agree having a friend that just consistently turns a blind eye to like a man who disrespects them and kind of treats them a little shit. I
There,
treats them kind
there,
of
there,
shitty.
there comes a point. I think what Mia's trying to say. There comes a point where it's like almost a form of like self harm. Like
Mm.
it
Yeah,
comes to
it
a
really
point,
is. It really is. It really is. And it
yeah,
feels
where
abusive
you're like,
on my end of the relationship. I'm like, I hate watching this.
Yeah.
And I hate the kind of person that she's turned into, this like very reactive, overreactive person. This like immediately switching to like a panic attack when she's
Yeah.
called out on things or things are brought into question. Just like, simple questions with simple answers, you know? So it's
Mhm.
hard to watch. And I wasn't there for her her meltdown at Republic. I wasn't there for her meltdown at the lake. And so
It
to
was,
watch those back, it's just so many
and being,
questions in my head.
yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. It really is weird and dark, and I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
sit right with me.
And
Yeah.
being there at those meltdowns, like those like especially the one about just the store credit, that was a question. Siobhan was asking her a question. Emmy's reaction is what turned it into an accusation.
Yes. Oh my
Siobhan
God. So well put, Molly. Yeah.
Siobhan said, "Hey, I don't want to think this about you, but Siobhan's very, very smart, and she thinks she's a lawyer herself. She thinks very analytically, and she's taking these facts and she's saying, "Hey, girl, did you do this? It like just seems fishy. I just want to clear this up." Um, and she freaks out like that. So in general, this season and this summer, it was really hard to see because when you can see someone's reactions don't match the situation, there's something else happening.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking. Even me not being her friend, I don't like her at all. And you can see that she is going through something, and it wasn't good. It was really sad to see. And I think, I talked about it a little bit. Again, I don't care for her at all, but I'm like, something is wrong. Like someone needs to check on that girl. It can't obviously be me. But I just
But it's
remember
hard. It's hard for the people that want to check in on her
it was
because then
it
it
was
turns into
really
like
hard to
you.
watch, like
Yeah.
mental episodes like that. It like that, and the reason that I kind of giggled at the first one because I was like,
Right.
like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think even for someone that isn't her friend, it was tough. It was not fun to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I only have a few more minutes left with you guys. I want to end on a high note. I want to know what you guys
Yeah.
are looking forward to for the rest of the season. Mia, what are you looking forward to?
Being back in Charleston because as soon as I finished my stint in Trinidad and Tobago, I flew straight to Vegas.
Yeah.
So I haven't been back to Charleston yet. I haven't been back home. Haven't seen all my good friends, and like I just want to be back. And I know that TJ has a Sir Wiener event coming up, so I was just like I was excited to help him do that. And I don't know. I'm also like tug of warring with Troy to come move down to Charleston. So
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Molly, what about from you?
I think getting back from Vegas, I'm looking forward to go back to work. I'm excited to go actually to my day job and focus on that and get my routine back in order because it's hard to have a routine when you're dealing with all that. So I'm very excited to get back to work and support TJ again. That's coming up and just get back into my routine.
All right. I was going to say you're like the only person who wants to go back to work, but after seeing that Vegas trip, I get it.
Yeah, I'm like, give me somewhere normal.
Right, right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. So lovely to talk with you. This has been a great season so far, and I'm really looking forward to what is coming up.